intoxicating, evocative, an expression of our tastes or our personality, let's talk about perfume, which has become a true accessory that characterizes us and accompanies us in every context. Today, the habit of perfuming one's home and clothes is a pleasant ritual and a delicate olfactory gratification, as a good fragrance promotes all-round well-being, as aromatherapy, for example, a practice that has been recognized for years, teaches us. The use of fragrances in the various spheres of a person's life certainly has very distant origins. As far back as 5,000 years ago, the Egyptians used fragrances to distinguish themselves and their environments. They certainly then found great expansion from the 1800s and 1900s, when people learned to cultivate and produce essential oils for perfumes. And Italy was certainly one of the great protagonists. Venice and Florence were the main centers of perfume production. From there, it has always been a crescendo. It follows us in our everyday lives, in all the spheres in which our lives unfold. So, starting with body perfume, which we all use, fragrances are used in the domestic sphere for room scenting, for offices, for cars. So, perfume follows us throughout our day. The benefits of aromatherapy are scientifically proven and known by all. They are benefits that have both a psychic and a physical aspect. There are several fragrances that, for example, diffused in the environment, such as lavender, have a great relaxing effect on the mind. There are then substances that instead have physical benefits, such as aloe or carnation. However, it is very important that these fragrances are diffused correctly, because when diffused in the environment, all fragrances interact with our pulmonary alveoli, so they absolutely must be quality fragrances to be diffused correctly in the air. Fragrances, either inhaled or from coming in contact with the skin, could in fact cause irritation or actual allergies, which is why the choice must be careful and considered. With the increasing consumption and needs, many fragrances of synthetic origin, what we technically call scented materials, have sprung up over time. We often recognize a fragrance from a good perfume, but this is not always linked to a good quality. A fundamental and very important element is that the essences used for perfuming are of natural origin, that they are as low allergenic as possible, because out of the 2,500 or so perfume components that exist, over 100 have a high allergenic power, so this aspect must absolutely be taken into account, as it can cause dermatitis, it can cause asthma, it can cause breathing disorders. So, in order to be able to choose safe and superior quality products with serenity and awareness, it is always best to opt for fragrances based on natural essential oils. The quality of a fragrance should not only be judged according to our olfactory pleasure, but should absolutely be assessed according to the essence that produces this fragrance. We absolutely recommend using all fragrances that are made with natural essential oils. We at Essentia, for example, have made a very specific choice. We only use essential oils that come from organic cultivation and are BioAgriCert certified. Perfume is an olfactory pleasure that follows us all day long. The current trend is to possess a single personal fragrance to be found on clothes and in the various environments we visit. Today, there is the availability and the possibility of having a single fragrance that follows us in all areas of our day. We at Essentia, following this trend, have worked to bring the must-have favorite fragrances into all areas. For example, into the laundry fragrance market, the room fragrance market, car fragrance, and everything else that is important to us, and where it is important for us to recognize the fragrance that personalizes us. Each fragrance has its own identity and is formulated according to particular characteristics, as its uses are specific and therefore different. In order to allow your favorite fragrance to be used in various spheres, it is clearly necessary to have different types of product processing. So the fragrance can be traditionally processed with alcohol. The essential oils are then diluted in alcohol for room scenting. Or for example, they can be processed within a silicone as we do for perfumed air fresheners for cars, or with fabric adhesives for a specific use in laundry. This is what allows our fragrances to then be used in different environments and for specific uses.
In ambiti diversi e per specifici utilizzi.
In order to identify the essence that suits us, the one that corresponds to our personality or mood, the olfactory pyramid comes to our aid.
Il mio consiglio
My advice for choosing the right fragrance for us is to follow the indication of the olfactory pyramid, and this dictates when a fragrance will leave the perfume. We have the top notes, which are the ones that immediately strike us and make us like a fragrance. They then give way to the heart notes, which are the ones that make us fall in love with a fragrance. And they finally leave room for the base notes, which are the notes of the fragrance that will persist over time. The classic example is when we go into a perfumery and try a perfume. We put it on our skin and the first sensation we have is of a certain type of fragrance, but after some time other notes will certainly come out, which are the base notes, which are the heart notes within the perfume.
Presenti all'interno del profumo.
Once the preferred scent has been identified, another characteristic that should not be overlooked is its ability to persist as long as possible in the environment, on home textiles or clothing. More and more often, users are looking for fragrance that lasts. And here we have technology coming to our aid. We at Essentia, specifically, have used nanotechnology, which is that of microencapsulation. The perfume is microencapsulated and fixed to the fabric with special additives. The garment is washed and placed in the wardrobe, and after 2 or 3 weeks it is taken out and worn, and due to the rubbing of the fabric, these capsules break down, releasing the perfume.
Emanando il profumo.
As far as the durability of perfume of other products, such as car, wardrobes and so on, is concerned, it all depends on the percentage of essence in the perfume. The higher the percentage of essence, the longer the perfume lasts.
Più il profumo dura.
The advice of professional and trained personnel is another key point in order to be able to choose the most suitable fragrance for one's needs with peace of mind.
Un profumo di qualità.
A quality perfume needs a quality sales network, which is why we at Essentia have chosen an extensive network of professional, well-prepared people who are ready to fulfill customers' requests and are therefore prepared to let them choose the perfume that suits them best and makes them feel good. Just as, for example, in a perfumery, one goes and is assisted in choosing the best perfume for one's body, so in Essentia shops, the product is recommended by trained staff.
Viene consigliato da personale preparato.
The high quality of the perfumers, which are BioAgriCert certified and safe for health, makes Essentia a cutting-edge company with an ecological soul. In fact, all the packaging is made of green PE, a recyclable material of vegetable origin, and therefore environmentally sustainable, with the I'm Green guarantee logo.